Hello, Facebook. This is Danananda from CreatePositiveChange.com and also YouTube, or the Queen of Calm YouTube channel. I'm always a little nervous when I start my Facebook Live post, but then I calm down and everything flows, so stick with me. So today I want to teach you a 7-step self-forgiveness process. So Wednesday is always the day that we live stream about different tools and techniques you can use to shift your energy. And it's so easy to do. It's just finding the way that feels right for you. That's so important. So 2 Wednesdays ago, I shared with you the TLC, contemplation meditation process. And that was just really a way to come to a place of greater peace within you using a very simple meditation technique. And that's on the YouTube channel if you want to check it out. And then last week I shared the freeform writing process. So for those of you who would rather put pen to paper and take time to identify and write about all the grievances that are coming up inside of you, whatever it is that's contributing to the upset that you're feeling, freeform writing is an awesome process for that. And that's also in the video section, so you can find that on July 12th, and the first one would have been on July 5th. And then in the freeform writing process, I also shared a simple self-forgiveness process. And so today I'm going to take you through a slightly longer one, and I call it the 7 steps to self-forgiveness, and it follows the same flow as my program, Being the Change. So the 7 steps are: 1, connect to your heart. 2, you want to choose whom it is that you want to forgive. 3, you want to clarify your grievance. And this is where you can either write it out or you can do it silently inside of yourself like you did with the TLC meditation. And 4 is create a movie or a storyline in your mind where you see the situation happening again, or you write about it and all the things that that person did or didn't do, did or didn't say that somehow upset you. And then 5 is to commit with intention to forgive this person and to forgive yourself. And then 6 is to actually commence the process, to move through the self-forgiveness process, which I taught briefly last week. And 7 is to celebrate. And we celebrate by acknowledging ourselves, acknowledging what the real truth of the situation is, and any of the learnings or blessings that came about as a result of that process. So I will take you through the process now, and I invite you to find a comfortable place to sit or lie down. And if you think you would like to do this with pen and paper, take a moment to gather those things, maybe a glass of water if you need it. And while you're doing all these things, just kind of begin to think about how you want to use this process today. If you're upset right now, I would just go with that. And if you're in a really good place, then you might need to reflect a little bit on whom you want to forgive. And once you're comfortable, take a few slower, deeper breaths in and out. And each time the breath falls out, just let it do so with a sigh. And feel your body begin to relax into the surface beneath you. Imagining all your stress and tension flowing out of you. And just sensing yourself beginning to let go. And when you're ready, begin to breathe into and out of your heart center. So that's the upper chest and back where the physical heart resides. And it's also the resting place of the spiritual heart. And if that is something you're not familiar with, you can also imagine connecting to your higher power. Just breathing into and out of your heart center, this place of greater peace and joy, compassion, loving kindness, acceptance. And whenever you're ready, clarify whom you want to forgive. So the person that may have contributed to your upset. And once you have someone in mind, you want to clarify what happened or didn't happen, what they said or didn't say. And remember, you can do that on paper, or you can just do that silently inside of you. And then you want to create a silent movie or storyline in your mind. So if you need more time to jot a few things down, feel free to do so. And if you're doing this silently in your mind, just imagine that you're there. Just see a movie of this happening in slow motion, noticing what was going on just prior to you becoming upset. And then the point where you become upset, and just notice how you responded or reacted to that. Just from this place of compassion. And you can take as long as you like with this. If you're already complete, maybe just watch your silent movie one more time, exaggerate it a little bit to really bring forward those feelings inside of you. That will assist you in getting back into the energy of that moment, just for a few moments, not to torture yourself or get yourself upset again, but just to bring yourself back into that place, if you're not already there. Excuse me. And then when you're ready, excuse me, set a silent intention to forgive this person. So you're committing to this process of forgiveness, to forgive this person and to forgive yourself. And then we'll commence the self-forgiveness process. And similar to last week, if you like, you can bring your hand to your heart. It just reminds you that you're doing this from the heart or with heart. And close your eyes and go inside. You can do this silently or out loud, depending on where you are. And just begin with some very simple self-forgiveness statements, such as, I forgive myself for judging, fill in the blank with the person whom you're choosing to forgive. So very simple. I forgive myself for judging, and then fill in the blank with that person's name. And then we'll use that format to continue forgiving them for the various judgments we made about them. So it might be something like, I forgive myself for judging Tom for acting so insensitively. I forgive myself for judging Tom for not listening to me. I forgive myself for judging Tom for being so upset at me. So these are just some examples. So take your time and come up with at least 3 things you would like to forgive this person for. And if there's more, go for it. Just really allow yourself to move into that space of forgiveness of this person and whatever they did or didn't do, said or didn't say. I forgive myself for judging, fill in the blank, for doing, for acting, for saying. And then when you're ready to move on to yourself, we often judge ourselves for being upset, for reacting or responding the way we did, for holding on to this grievance for days, weeks, sometimes years. So the statement that you would make, it's just a very simple one. Again, hands on heart, if that feels good to you, reminds you to stay in your heart and be in that compassionate space as you move through this process. And simply you want to say, I forgive myself for judging myself. So that's the simple phrase. I forgive myself for judging myself for reacting so strongly. I forgive myself for judging myself for getting so angry over something so small. I forgive myself for judging myself for not saying what I wanted to say. So just think of at least 3 things that you would like to forgive yourself for in connection to this person that you're choosing to forgive. Sometimes we judge ourselves even more so than we judge others. We let others off the hook much easier than we do ourselves. So if that's true for you, you might want to come up with a few more self-forgiveness statements. And if more judgments come up about the person with whom you were involved in the situation, you can add more in there too. So just give yourself another minute here. And then when you're complete, we want to celebrate by acknowledging ourselves, one, for being willing to move through this process for ourselves. So this is not really about that other person. We've been holding on to this energy inside of ourselves. We've been holding on to these judgments and opinions and stories, and they keep affecting us over and over again. So by taking time to forgive someone else, it also brings up the things that we need to forgive about ourselves. And by forgiving both the person who is involved and ourselves, we clear or shift or move that energy in positive ways. It's lifted so that typically we feel lighter, calmer, and a little bit, what I would say, a little bit happier with how things went. And then when we celebrate and acknowledge ourselves, we also want to state the truth of the situation. So it might go something like this. And the truth is that Tom was just doing the best he could. And the truth is that Tom was just being Tom, and what he said or did had nothing to do with me. The truth is that Tom is a great person, and we just had a miscommunication. The truth is, I was doing the best that I could do. The truth is, I didn't say what I wanted to say because I was afraid. The truth is, I'm a valuable, loving, and kind individual. And the truth is, and then fill in the blank with whatever comes forward for you. This is really an opportunity to give yourself love. Take as long as you like to do that. Forgiving ourselves is for giving ourselves love. So if you break down the word forgiving, it's forgiving ourselves love. So it's to give ourselves love. It's to free the energy inside of us that has bound us negatively with this other person or this event or this memory, this experience. And so by doing this simple process, you're beginning to clear that old energy. And the next time you see that person, or the next time I see Tom, I'm going to feel a lot better about myself and about him. And if there is something I need to address with him, now I can do it from this more peaceful place within me, from this place that understands we were both doing the best we could. However, maybe I need to set some boundaries, and I can do that in a very peaceful and loving way because I'm not upset anymore, and it'll come across much more lovingly. And it's also a great opportunity to reflect on the blessings and the learning. So if you like following this process, you can just sit down and journal about what you learned. That, you know, this is just how Tom is with everybody. He doesn't just act that way with me. My response to him is what upset me. That might be a learning that you put down. The next time I have something to say, I might stop, take a couple of breaths, and then just be willing to say it. Or maybe I excuse myself for a few minutes and I take care of myself, you know, by tapping, using some free-form writing, and then I come back to the conversation. So that might be something you write down. But always acknowledge the person, acknowledge yourself, because we really are doing the best we can do. If we knew how to do better, we would do better. And we learn and we grow, and our relationships also grow and evolve. And life is really good. But sometimes our emotions get in the way and spoil what could be a really awesome day. So I hope this was helpful to you. The 7 steps again are, to connect with your heart, to choose whom you want to forgive, to clarify what your grievance is or was, and then to create it in your mind. So make a movie, a silent movie, just tell yourself the story of what happened. Write it down if you like, but you can do that inside of you. And then set an intention, commit to moving into the self-forgiveness process, to forgiving this person and to forgiving yourself. And then commence with the process. Commence with the process itself. Go all the way through and then celebrate by acknowledging you, what you're learning, and everything that's great about you, and acknowledge this other person too for just doing the best they could do. Remember, you are awesome, you are phenomenal, and using these simple tools and techniques can really change your life in phenomenal ways. So keep up the good work out there. Thank you for tuning in. And if you would like to join my Being the Change 28-day program to transform your mind, your energy, and your life, stay tuned next week at 12 p.m. Monday through Thursday. That's 12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. And then on Friday, I'll be live streaming in the morning, I believe. I think it's at 7:30 a.m., but I'll post it next week. And I'd love to share with you more about the programs, but I'm going to take you through these 7 steps in a different way, and this is creating a positive change. So whether it be a simple change, a big goal, or you want to live your dreams, this program will get you off the fence and moving in the direction you want to go. It's a really fun, engaging, experiential, and empowering program. It's an audio program, and it's has an online support component to that you can join if you want to. So I'll share more next week. Have an awesome day today. Thank you for staying tuned. Be well. Bye for now.